All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about the basics of a credit card. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of blow you up with a bunch of definitions here. A credit card is a buy now, pay later situation where you don't necessarily have to have money to buy things. Impulse buying, spur of the moment type of buying. The advantages of having a credit card is that you can have, or you can buy something without having cash on hand, but there's a problem. That leads to a disadvantage, which means you can overspend. The two types of credit: revolving charge account, where the revolving charge account, the amount dues, the amount due rolls over time. This is the type that we're going to see most in this unit, is just your basic credit card, which is right here. Now, a couple of definitions regarding some credit card stuff, and that is the one. I mean, they're all important. They're all important, but I think we're going to talk about this in this video: the truth in lending. All right. So if you needed to go through that again, make sure you pause the video so you can see it. All right, now example number one: Frank lost his credit card in the local mall. He notified his creditor before the card was used. All right, so before the card was used, that's actually kind of important, so stick with me on that. However, later that day, someone found the card and charged $700 worth of hockey equipment. How much is Frank responsible? Now, because of the fact that he called before, all right, that means he notified the company, hey, I lost my card. Anything beyond or anything from the point that I called you beyond, I'm not responsible for, which means he did his due diligence. So that means he is responsible for nothing. Now, let's change this before to after. So let's say he called the company after the $700 purchase was was done. So how much would he be responsible for paying? Most credit card companies, they will not make you responsible for the $700. So what they'll do is they'll say, you know what, you're going to only be responsible for 50 bucks. All right, so the first $50. So if it's ever after, and especially in this unit, if you call after the fact, then you're responsible for the first 50 bucks. So that means the additional 650 bucks, credit card companies are just going to have to absorb that one. All right, example number two: credit card companies. All right, now we bring in a little term called the APR, which is the annual percentage rate. Now, annual means yearly. And what they want us to do is convert it to monthly. And I know I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit, but hopefully you've seen this before. So if the APR is 21.6, very simply, I'm just going to convert it to 12. So when I convert it to 12, I'm going to get my monthly periodic rate or interest rate, and it ends up being 1.8%. Okay. Now, the APR to the monthly is something that you're going to have to do throughout this video, so just keep that in mind. All right, example number three: Rebecca did not pay last month's credit card bill in full. Okay, below is a list of daily balances. Now make the connection. She did not pay her last month's credit card bill in full. Find her average daily balance, which means we're going to figure out a charge. All right, now if she, all right, I know I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit, but I'm going to do it anyway. So if she would have paid in full, meaning she paid everything off, there would be no fee. Okay, now keep that in mind as we're going to answer this question. Okay, so if she would have paid in full, then there would be no fee. So basically, everything that we're doing right now is just a waste. Okay, but she didn't pay it in full. We got to do some things. Find Rebecca's daily average. Now, notice here, we have for 7 days, she owed this amount of money. All right. So what that means is what we're going to do is, let's see if I can do this off to the side, 7 times $456.11. That equals $3,192.77. And we're going to do that for every line. Look at the next one. For 3 days, she owed 1,100. So 3 times 1,177.60, and we're going to equal, and that equals 3,532.80. And we're going to do that for every single line. So for the 6 days, for the 9 days, for the 5 days. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward and do it. You can pause the video if you'd like. Okay, so here's my work here. Now, so basically what I did, I just multiplied all the days by the amount that she has been owing throughout the month. Okay, notice how the amount is getting gradually larger. All right. Now, I put this 43,248 off to the side here. And the reason why I put this 43,248 is because I added all of my products here. So when I add up all my products, I get 43,000. Okay. Now it says find the average daily balance. Do not make this mistake. This is what some students are going to do. They're going to say, well, I got 43,000 by adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, so I'm going to divide that by 5. No, do not do that. You would divide 43,000 by the number of days in the problem. I'm kind of outlining it right there in yellow. 7, 3, 6, 9, and 5. That is a total of 30 days. So I'm going to divide this by 30. And when I do, my average daily balance ends up being $1,441.60. Okay? So that's how much our average daily balance is. Now, fast forward, see example number 3, we're skipping 3B. Joe, we're not paying attention to you right now. Now we're going to example number 4. All right, this is a continuation. It says Rebecca from example 3 pays a finance charge on her average daily balance. Remember, she has to pay a finance charge because, going all the way back, she did not pay her credit card bill in full. If she would have paid everything, meaning she would have paid off her balance, nothing would have rolled over to the next day, then she would have no fee, but she did not. So she did not. Shame on her. Okay, going all the way back. All right, so she has to pay a finance charge. Now, let me write the little formula here, or the relationship, and that is this. The finance charge equals the average daily balance, ADB, times the monthly percentage rate, the MPR. Okay, so there's two things going on right now. All right, we got to find the finance charge. First, we got to find the average daily balance. We just did that. And so the average daily balance is $1,441.60. Now, the MPR, that is the monthly. Now, they only gave you the APR, which is the yearly. So that means it's a problem within a problem. We got to divide the APR by 12. And when you do that, you get 1.5%. Okay, so very simply, I'm just going to multiply 1,441.60 times 1.5%. Now, remember, folks, whenever you multiply percent, you move the decimal 2 places over, so it'll be 0.015. So when I do that, the answer ends up being $21.62. So her finance charge ended up being $21.62, and that's because she did not pay her bill in full. So I really want you to make that connection. I know I've been saying that 3 or 4 times, but if she would have paid it in full, then there would be 0 charge. Very simple. All right, last example I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to be closing up this video, and that is Janine's credit card was stolen, and the thief charged $44 in a meal using it before, here we go, before she reported it. So the thief, charged a $44 meal before she actually reported it. So that means she's responsible for paying. Now, if you're responsible, that means you're responsible up to $50. Okay? So she spent $44, or the thief spent $44. So that means Janine would be responsible for $44. Okay? So that's the basics of the credit card. I know I kind of went over this quickly, so if you have questions, please let me know the next time you see me. Thank you.